Most people hang up their boots after retirement. But what if I told you that this army general laced up for something even tougher? Today on Tipsy Talks, we meet Major General Rohit Gupta, retired, a decorated soldier who has swapped military convoys for mountain roads and command rooms for the thrill of two wheels. From Dalhousie to Chair, Manikaran to Kheer Ganga, Srinagar to Kargil, and even the frozen passes of Chandratal, he's taken on rides that demand as much grit as on a battlefield. What does it take to plan these expeditions? What goes through your mind when a landslide blocks the road at a height of 5,000 meters? And why does biking give him the same adrenaline rush as leading men in uniform? Stay tuned, you're about to hear stories of courage, calm, and crazy adventures on the open road. Today on Tipsy Talks, we have Major General Rohit Gupta, retired, a decorated soldier who traded the battlefield for open roads and mountains and valleys on his bike. From Leh to Kheer Ganga, he's seen it all on two wheels. We'll explore the thrill, the planning, and the life lessons that come out from these epic rides. Welcome, General Rohit Gupta, to Tipsy Talks, sir.
Thank you very much, Tipsy. It's a pleasure being with you.
Sir, let me give a brief account of your accomplishments thus far, of your life journey thus far, sir, to the audience. General Gupta is a graduate in economic honors from the prestigious SRCC. He is 1983 IMA batch, commissioned into 1st Madras, commanded 5 Mech, 14 Kumau, and in between he did various tough and asking and very prestigious staff appointments. One that comes to my mind very prominently is BGS of 14 Corps, where I had a very close interaction with him. Commanded 8 Brigade and thereafter CI Counter-Insurgency Force uniform. And then later worked in defense modernization. After hanging up his boots, he was head defense business vertical Primus Partners for some time, and now currently working as a senior independent advisor in the defense industry. Now, sir, with all these accomplishments under your belt, where did the small little spark of biking, come through these dark clouds? Was the desire always there, sir? Were you always a biking enthusiast, and this, it somehow got subdued when you were donning the uniform? And then it rekindled the minute you left the uniform and, hung those boots up.
Okay, Tipsy, that's nostalgic actually. Before marriage, immediately as I got into commission, I picked up a bike, and it was a 79 model Royal Enfield, the one with the copper and brass transmission mechanism. Beautiful bike,
Right.
Old timer, and old time with 2 screws. You could do tuning and all. I was very passionate about it, but after marriage, we had a small little accident on it, and I was persuaded to sell it.
Okay.
But all my life, I got bogged down with the responsibilities that were there, or assumed the responsibility as such that I could not carry out what I wanted to do.
Right.
Even after retirement, I picked up the job as the head of the business vertical, and I found myself getting sucked down into the quagmire, which I never wanted to be in the first place.
Right, sir.
And that's what a decision I took. Let me now dissociate myself with these professional responsibilities,
Right,
get
right.
down, dilute them, and pick up what I want to do in life. And that was very important. And I'm very happy that I did it. And now I can consider myself as a liberated soul.
That's very nice, sir. It's very motivating and inspiring for all of us down here, sir. How do you now differentiate business from pleasure, sir? I consider biking as a pleasure. So you're still working, sir. So how do you take out time for both?
I take out time. I have not dipped my finger so much into the professional field.
Right.
I keep a limited amount of clients which I can deal with. And I tell them forthrightly, look, I'm very fond of biking. I'm very fond of my golf. And within the time itself, I do the time sharing basis. Yes, it's challenging, but then it's a retired life, and you want to do something which is useful, and you want to follow your heart also. So I find both aspects very good.
I was about to.
And you don't have family obligations. Blessed part about it, I don't have family obligations any longer.
So you sound like a free man, an emancipated man now. Sir, I was about to allude to your second passion these days, which is golf. So what draws you to golf, sir? It is strategy, calmness, or just fun hanging around with your friends on the greens?
Yes, hanging around with your friends, with compatible people, enjoying yourself, and beautiful greens. I mean, the golf courses are beautiful to connect with the environment.
Sir,
Plus, golf allows you to focus. It's
sir,
between you, the club, and the ball. It's
absolutely.
simple. No one else comes in between,
Absolutely.
and it's an aspect of concentration, focus. It is almost a kind of a meditative state, and you when you hit the ball and hits a sweet spot, wow, it gives you a tremendous thing. And you're fighting against yourself, you're fighting against your handicap. Look, I want to decrease my handicap there. And that's the pleasure that you take. You laugh at the bad shots, you exclaim at your good shots. Everybody claps at the good shot. So it's good fun. It's a good feeling at the end of it. You can play 17 holes badly, you play your last hole well, and you get a birdie.
Yes.
Your day is made. Your day is made.
I couldn't agree with you more, sir, being a golfer myself. But then, sir, we are drifting away from our main course now. Let's get you back onto the road, sir. Sir, we would like to discuss, the entire nitty-gritty of your bike rides, sir. Let's start with planning the rides as such. So how do you choose destinations, and I mean, what factors do you consider? First of all, sir, I mean, do you do that alone, or do your friends or your biking gang, they come and put their heads together and then decide on a course ahead, sir?
Okay, I started off as a sole rider, and I used to go. I went on one sole ride myself to Dalhousie and Shell from Delhi. Then me and Brigadier Arun Pandey gathered together, and we went on a ride together. And these were with the battalion friends, which were on a vehicle. And then we slowly expanded the group, and right
Right.
now we are around 12 strong.
Right.
Going on the group. Yes, you have to carry out a very meticulous planning for any kind of a ride. You can't just jump on a ride and then, take off on a long ride. Doesn't happen. Local NCR running is a different matter altogether.
Correct.
But for this, you have to plan, including environmental factor, your bike, the kind of terrain that you go through, your clothing, the way you pack, and where all will you stay? What are the contingencies involved in between? You have to plan all that. You have to look at satellite imageries of the place as to what all kind of areas you will be able to go, and the works. You have to be very careful about packing your bikes in terms of the center of gravity. You also have to ensure that what you need first is on top and the rest is at the bottom, and you rotate your things every night. So that you get the ones you can't start picking up from the bottom every time on a bike ride. So a lot of things goes into it. And what we do is, now that we are a big group, we distribute our responsibilities because you're staying in more places. Last time we stayed in almost 7 places. So distribute the responsibility of getting accommodation, looking at the tourist maps and things like that, engaging as to where all we'll be able to go and visit and things like that. So it's not only hitting, it's not a point-to-point march.
Right.
It is going to a particular spot, looking at the environment, interacting with the people, looking at good things,
Right.
and enjoying ourselves over there also.
Right, right. So as I see it, sir, I mean, it's more like a line of the march attack kind of a thing, right? And when you plan every move, you plan every stop that you have there, and the activities you plan to the last tee that you have there, sir. Sir,
Absolutely, you have to do planning.
right, sir, right. Oh, what about the logistics part of it? So let's start with the preparation of the bikes per se, sir. So how do you, I mean, how earlier than the date of the ride would you start planning and start, doing things to your bike?
Almost 3 to 4 days, because you have to take your bike to the workshop, have a look at it as to whether things are okay. Then you have to do your packing, and the packing starts off a day in advance easily.
Right.
You have to pack up in a way that I got side bags, and you got a saddle bag also. So you have to pack it up in that kind of a manner. Carry everything there, like for example, a puncture kit. You have to have that inflator of your tire. You have to have a number of other issues, including the chain, lubricants, etc. So it's a very meticulous stage where you do, and as experience gathers on, you make a checklist which you follow. And that is where the experience in the army comes in. We all followed checklists. So whatever we did, went on a patrol, there was a checklist. You went at the checklist, you added points in the checklist, and you talk to people, experienced people who will tell you more, especially
So,
on a high altitude patrol. So a similar kind of a thing applied over there, and that's where the military kind of learning does that. We are meticulous about the whole subject.
sir, the stops that you choose, sir, are they primarily military stations, or would you, take the risk of stopping at any civil area as well? What about protection in such places when you stop there?
Oh yes, we stop at any area. Yes, if the military stations between, we take the liberty of visiting them and using their resources in terms of the night stay. But we stayed in a large number of civil areas, and I'm telling you that I found it very engaging. Not that the military areas we did not find the people very accommodative and forthcoming. They were very accommodative and forthcoming. In fact, they were very happy that we had come there, especially to remote areas.
Right.
But I found in the civil areas, they are fascinated with it. And look, in my rides, I found a large number of youngsters
Sir.
carrying out a lot of bike rides.
Okay.
And it's amazing. They find out we're from the army. They stop, they chat over a cup of tea, question us about it,
Right.
and as to what we are doing. These guys are youngsters. We are at the age of 65.
Nice.
I mean, that's the range at which we are. And we got a senior person at 72 who's
Oh.
riding.
Okay.
So it's very interesting to talk to these young girls and boys on bikes, and girls are biking. The girls are biking. I mean, they're biking with 650cc. I was amazed. They're handling it. So it's a very pleasurable thing, and the civil interaction gives you a lot more. In uniform, our interaction is there, but there is always a little firewall. Here, you're directly in connect with them.
Okay.
And that firewall is not there of security and things like that.
Okay.
So you connect far better in this thing, and that's the reason also the bike gives me this pleasure of connection.
Right. Sir, we'll come on to the next step of preparation, sir, in terms of your gear that you wear, sir, the food that you carry en route. Of course, you can't rely on the places that you stop. Sometimes exigencies may happen. And the accommodations. So how do you take care of all these three administrative aspects?
Yeah, as far as your clothing and all goes, these are the biking gears. And I travel with the CE2 version, which is the rubber armor.
Right.
And it's got the CE2 level of protection, which saves you from a medium level crash. That will be there. It's very important to have that, including knee guards, elbow guards, chest guards, back guards, etc. And proper shoes, boots, which have got steel lining in them, which save you from any kind of a crash that may take place.
Right.
Now, as far as your booking advance, it's better to book in advance. We lightly want to book in advance, but at times what happens is there's certain areas where you don't realize that you will reach a particular area in time.
Correct, sir.
So you play it by the ear.
Okay.
There may be a few areas that you have been able to identify and route that, okay, we will not be able to read because of various environmental terrain conditions. We stay in 1, 2, 3, 4. There have been cases where we have not found the accommodation, but then have to separate out into a number of places and all, or request or team up. I mean, 3 guys to a room. We've done that also in places where 3 persons to a room have gone and put it in because there were just around 2 or 3 rooms available. So that kind of accommodation you have to carry out. It can't be a single person to a single room always.
Understood.
It's not possible to have that kind of accommodation.
Understood, sir. Sir, I'm sure you would be carrying out a kind of a risk assessment, sir, as we do it in the army, about the whole thing, the weather, terrain, roadblocks, the road conditions, and the bottlenecks that you have. So tell us a little bit about that, sir.
Yeah, we carry out a risk assessment, and bikers are crazy. The bigger the risk, more the adventure. You want to go for it.
Okay, sir.
But then we are prudent. We are prudent at the risk. That's what army also teaches you, as to how to balance out the risk, how to be very sensible about the risk taking part of it. So we calculate our risk factor. In fact, the most riskiest of the rides we had was to Chandratal, that from Narkanda. We went down to Kaza. Went to Chitkul, went to Shipkala. Shipkala, you had heard in the news also. Went to Chandratal. That was a risky ride, including shooting stones and waterways, very high flowing waterways. So we had to take a bike through it. It was a difficult ride, especially for the heavier bikes. And this kind of a risk analysis has to be carried out, and that is including at the Google. There are a lot of videos that are uploaded of the particular season that are there. So you look at them as to how the people are there, what are they talking about, and there is a risk analysis carried out over there. You assess for yourself as to what you're capable of, depending on your individual capabilities and your team capabilities. You not only equip yourself for that, you plan yourself for that also. So that does happen. High altitude also has an effect. Luckily, majority of us are served in high altitude. We understand it very well.
Absolutely.
So that tablet does help you in terms of the oxygen intake. But yes, you have got to be careful. You have to be seriously careful and balance out your risk accordingly.
Sir, are there any pre-rehearsed drills that you carry out? First thing that comes to my mind is 12 guys split over, let's say, 2.5 kilometers. So what kind of communication do you have between yourselves, sir? And what kind of signaling do you do without, if there is no radio communication between you, to, let's say, do the basic things, to halt, to slow down, to speed up, to catch up, and to stay behind, and I'm going to fetch up the rear, you keep going. What kind of, do we have any kind of signals like that?
Yeah, as far as the communication goes, you have the intercommunication through the Sena headphone.
Right.
Not all of them have it, but some have procured it, and you can communicate. Especially the first bike and the last bike need to have it.
Right.
It gives you a communication of around 2 kilometers, which is fair enough.
Right.
We have, what we do is, when there is a big team, you divide it into sub teams.
Right.
And the issue is very simple: is that especially on a highway, when you're driving, you try not to lose eye contact. And that is, in the rear view mirror, you've been able to see the rear guy.
Right.
And if you're not able to see the guy behind you, and that goes for everybody, the rear guy, you can't see 3 bikes behind, but certainly the rear guy in the rear view mirror. You slow down, and say there's the other bikes also there. You get confused. You slow down, and the other person uses his flasher. Okay. At times everybody uses flasher to identify, but what you found in highway, everybody using flashers.
Okay.
And you get confused who's your guy.
Okay.
So what we are now doing is, instead of using flasher, we shut down a flasher.
Okay.
And we use a flasher to indicate to the other guy that I'm behind you. The minute he starts slowing down, you use your flasher to tell him I'm behind you.
Okay.
This is me. So he speeds up again. So similar down the line. So that's how they're done. And it's a sub team. You stop at every, say, 20 kilometers,
right?
20-25 kilometers, depending on the terrain. Obviously, in bad terrain, it will be shorter distances, and you gather together, and thereafter set off again. So that not only gives you a issue of being able to ease out your strain, especially on a bad terrain, but also lets you get together and not disperse too much. Because if you have somebody with a flat out or something like that, then becomes a problem. And especially in a terrain where bikes may get stuck, you need assistance. So that's where it is vital.
Sir, when I look at the list of some of the bike rides that you've had so far, sir, the prominent ones that come to my mind now as I'm reading them, sir, is Dalhousie Chail, Manikaran, Kheer Ganga, Srinagar, Baramulla, Gurez, Kargil, sir, Ashmakam. This would have been really nice, very nostalgic, going back to the place you were as the BGS. You would know every inch of the ground as the back of your hand, sir. But I would like you to discuss with us the last one, which you've already alluded to, sir. Narkanda, Chitkul, Sumdo, Shipkila, Kaza, Chandratal, and Manali. This seems to be the most interesting, yet the most, you can say, daunting one, sir. So tell us a little bit more about it, the challenges that you face there, any particular anecdotes that you would like us to carry with us, sir?
Lots of them. In fact, this was a difficult ride. We kept a lot of thought into it. So, because a lot of us were with heavy bikes. This terrain is not for heavy bikes.
Okay.
I drive a RE SM650. So there were around 4 of these bikes. There was a Bear also, which is also 650. See, these are heavy bikes. Right. Light mountain bikes is meant for that. These kind of terrains are meant for that. But then we decided, let's go through. Right. In fact, we found no SM650 in the entire route. Okay. We are told that very few actually go on this ride with such a heavy bike. It's become very difficult. But Narkanda was okay. I mean, via Simla, there's no problem. Beautiful ride, lovely. And I do belong to Simla, so it was nostalgic in that way. Okay. And from Narkanda, Chitkul was a ride which was there were rocks on the road, and you're going this way, trying to maneuver, trying to go this way, and that's
Okay.
good 25 kilometers
Awesome.
of murderous ride that is there. But once you reach Chitkul,
So,
it's what a beautiful, awe-sparing
yes.
view you get of the river coming down and of the mountains. It's so beautiful. You forget the ride. I mean, you forget the cursing that you did on the ride. And that very moment, even if it is 15 minutes,
So,
is good enough for 2.5 hours of back-breaking ride to get to there.
okay, sir.
And then, of course, we came down, say the night in Sumdo. We went ahead to Kaza. A very interesting episode happened in before Kaza. Between Kaza and Sumdo,
So,
you had a stretch where the shooting rocks were coming down.
okay,
And
sir.
traffic had all halted. There were around 4 or 5 cars in front of us, a couple of matadors ahead of us. And we were looking at the shooting rocks, and some of the rocks was as big as this. I mean, because they double your size of the head coming down. We said, "Mar gaya, abhi to nahi ja payenge."
So,
So anyway, this rock slide diminished, and it always happens when it rains. After the rains, the as you know, the terrain is fragile, and the
correct.
rocks start coming down. So gradually, after around half an hour, all these big rocks stopped. So then we decided, okay, one by one, we shoot through. None of the bigger vehicles were going through. So we went, this is a good part about the
Okay.
bikes. We went to the forward edge, and we shoot through one by one.
Okay.
So we had one eye on the bloody slope, which was coming down, one eye on the road, because the road, so-called road, actually, the track was strewn with these rocks over there on top of it.
So,
And you press your accelerator, you couldn't accelerate too much because they're all with big rocks, and you're trying to get through as fast as possible. One eye up there, one eye on the road.
so,
I later on called it the Russian roulette. One of the thing was I got a Russian roulette. As to when are you going to get hit by that rock? And by the way, we all went through. There were 12 of us. We went through. 2 days afterward, the same episode took place, and I saw on the YouTube,
so,
this car had been crushed with a massive boulder
yes.
and had been hit with a massive boulder. So that's a risk factor that is there. We calculate the risk. Does the Russian rule and bent
That's a
across?
thrill.
Not that I advocate it for anybody. The next challenging, Kaza was a beautiful experience, lovely places to go through and all. I won't go through that. But when we went from Kaza we went to Shipkala also. Shipkala is the last post on the Chinese border,
So,
and it's been opened up for public now.
right.
It's a beautiful road that has been made to Shipkala. And amazing, we went there, the company was there, and that company of Bihar was, the way they looked after us in the sense of not laying out the red carpet for us, but the way they were so happy that we had come
Yes.
there and visited
Awesome.
them. And we looked at all the things over there that they had, and we had a lovely visit over there in Shipkala. Now, the ride from Kaza was, of course, beautiful. But Kaza to Chandratal. Chandratal is at around 4,300 meters.
Right, sir.
And this is the place where they say Yudhishthir got mukti
Okay.
in this
Okay.
place out there. And that it is not a road. It's a track, actually. It's a track. And though vehicles go up,
Okay.
but it has got 8 waterways
So,
in which gushing water is pouring down the culverts. In fact, I've
Okay.
got videos of it,
So,
and I will show you videos on it. And gushing down that, and literally your silencer was inside the water, and there are rocks inside the water.
Okay.
So your bike is going there, and SM650 has got a very low ground clearance, so not meant for such kind of area. The minute the rock comes below the belly, you're stuck because your wheels are spinning, and there is no way.
Correct.
People have to come in the icy cold water and lift you, and you can't shut off the engine. If you shut off your engine inside, the water will enter into your silencer, and then you had it. Or your sump will go in case there is a rock that is sharp,
So,
and your bike is totally off road. And we did this reach on top. It was interesting. A couple of bikes got stuck. My bike got stuck in the first one and had to be lifted because a rock had come under the belly. But the rest of the things we did. By the end of it, we were veterans at it. Possibly none of us had done such an episode before. We had done normal waterways on the way to Lansdowne from Ranikhet,
right.
but never done such heavy kind of a water flow. And thereafter from Chandratal, we went on. There were a number of waterways there also. So very interesting ride, very, very difficult ride in those conditions. But something which we enjoyed. And at the end of it, when he hit the highway next to Atal Tunnel, though literally the adrenaline that was flowing in your body, the deja vu that was there, we've done it. We've done it. We've done an impossible ride. All your exhaustion, everything gets overcome by that little feeling that is there in the end.
Sir, you were alluding to golf and being on the 18th hole, having played 17 very badly and getting a birdie on 18th. There's something like that. The feeling that you just got mentioned, sir.
Something like that, much more, 20 times more than that.
Okay,
20 times before that, because you are literally every pore of your body is sweated, every inch of your limbs are hurting, your back is hurting, your hands are hurting, your legs are hurting, and you do that. It is more than that. It's more that it's like you on the line of control of like in the altitude, you walked for so many miles on a LRP, and you walked fast. And you're exhausted and you reach the top of that mountain and reach your destination. You've done it.
Something like that. Sir, getting on to a little cautious side, sir. One hears of a lot many accidents. The recent one being very prominent in the news about Javanda and all. How do you keep yourself safe, sir? Do you set any speed limits? Do you set any restrictions and limiting binding factors when you plan out your rides, sir?
Yes, definitely. On a highway, we largely don't do more than 80.
Right.
And that for a super bike like me is slow.
It's very slow.
This is 80 is very slow for a super bike like mine. It does 140. I mean, it can do it. Not that you're allowed to do it, but we don't go above 80. Right. And that's a kind of salient rule. Of course, patches you will go faster, patches you will go slower, but that's the average speeding that you do.
Correct.
In bad terrain, of course, you can't even do 20 and 10 also at times. One thing is very clear. You have to watch out for traffic from the back. Okay. I have been hit in Srinagar by a truck onto my right-hand side. He dragged me for almost 20 yards, and I've got a feeling I was flying the national flag at the back, and you know what the equations are at times. Okay. So he dragged me over 20 yards. It's just that I kept my hand against his body. I kept my bike stable. It's a very heavy bike with all loaded 350 kgs. I prevented myself from getting under the tire. So you've got to be very careful on this guys coming from the back and doing a glancing blow onto you. Right. It can mean sheer murder. Lighter bikes, you get thrown. Right. And therefore, heavier bikes are better. Because when you have 350 kgs on the road, it's better. It's far better.
And also, sir,
so you have to be very careful about that. You have to use your indicators. You have to show distance. You have to show your hand. You double it with your hand distance. Even while you're traveling, you show the other guy that whether there is a pothole, whether to slow down, whether to speed up. So you are doing that all the way down the chain. You're doing that to show it. A single person only or a double line. So you're doing this to your back person so that he's also careful. You come across a bump, you give an indication to him. So the bike indications are there by hand also. So you do all this to keep safe. Right. And you have to be cautious. You have to be cautious on a two-wheeler. There's no way that you can help it. And you have to be cautious not only you're driving, you have to ensure it's kind of protective driving that the other guy also does not hit you. You're double cautious. Right. Keep away from the guy. Right. Just keep away.
Right. Sir, I would like to ask you as to what has biking taught you, sir, so far. There's a lot of biking ahead in your life, sir, that even your military career couldn't, sir. Well, I mean, what are the different, takeaways from biking which the military career couldn't or didn't give you?
Okay, by and large, biking, a lot of my military career attributes have been used to in biking. But biking teaches me one issue, or it's a kind of a thing. Okay, I'll give you an example. I was in Sierra Leone. We used to, because of the hot, humid climate, we used to put on the AC, put up our windows.
Right, sir.
There was this Marine with me, my buddy, and he said, Rohit, let's put down our windows. I asked him why. He says, allows you to connect with the environment.
Okay, sir.
Put down the windows, it actually allows you to connect with the environment. So, in fact, if you understand the CIOps, we did it in JNK also. The security shield around you, the kind of atmosphere disconnected from the environment. A car with an open window or something connecting with the environment. A bike allows you to connect with the
Yes.
environment totally.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The smells, the environment factor, the cold, the dust conditions, the everything allows you to connect. And that is what it taught me to endure the bad part of it,
Right.
enjoy the good part of it.
Right.
And it is tremendous. It is what biking has taught me much more than what the military taught me.
Right.
That shield is no longer with you. Like I told you, when we went to Srinagar, we went to Kargil and all, we stopped at places, spoke to the locals. Just stopped and spoke. I mean, nothing else. Just stopped and spoke. Nothing else. Take out a bottle of water, have a sip of water, and speak to him. And it is tremendous. I mean, in fact, a few days before the Pahalgam incident came down, we had gone to Eshmagam, and that is just short of Pahalgam. We stopped and spoke to the locals over there. As a matter of fact, I found them so friendly, so accommodating, and all, and so forthright in asking us as to what we are doing and all. So that is something which is this biking has taught me about connecting with the environment much more than the military has.
Right, right. Sir, we now come down to a very exciting rapid fire round, sir, which I call Tipsy's 10. I'm going to be asking you 10 very simple, quick fire questions, sir, to which I reply very short, crisp answers so that we can finish that energy feast. The first one, of course, sir, which is going to be your most favorite question, which is your favorite bike model? Of course, I already know something about it. Tell us a little bit more, sir.
My bike model is RE Super Metro 650. And that is my favorite model. It's a beautiful bike. It's a lovely bike, so stable and so good.
Right.
The rapid fire, I can't give you the characteristics.
Right.
Okay.
Sir, your top 3 scenic rides.
Okay. Kheer Ganga, beautiful ride. Lovely ride. Then, of course, Chandratal, which I told you now. And Gurez, a lovely ride.
Yes, yes. Right, sir. The next one, sir, which is your must-have travel snack that you carry all the time?
The dry fruits I carry on, and I love chocolate. So these are two things I always ensure that are there with me.
All right.
Of course, chocolates have to be put in that ice pack. I mean, there's no way otherwise they melt.
Right. So, one ride that you will never forget.
Okay. One ride which was totally nostalgic to me was the Srinagar, Baramulla, Gurez, Kargil ride, Ashmagam.
Right.
I was nostalgic about it. Not only I served there, I was in Udhampur with my father for around 5 years, and I got a connectivity because we hail from Mirpur, which is just across the LC, and from Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and it was nostalgic. But the ride I will not forget for the challenge that it posed to was the Kaza Chandratal Atal Tunnel ride. It was challenging. I cannot forget that.
Right. Sir, you initially started off as a solo rider, and now you have a company of 11 other riders. What do you prefer more, sir, solitude or company?
I enjoy the benefits of both, but yes, company is far better. Company is far better in terms of the safety factor that is involved.
Right. Sir, I've noticed all your rides have basically been in mountainous terrains. So what do you prefer more, sir, mountains or the valleys, sir?
Mountains definitely prefer it far much because that gives you the challenge on the mountain roads. So it's very good.
Right, sir. Right. And what is your preferred time of ride, sir? Are you a morning hunter, sir, or a late evening rider?
Morning and before the sun up. It's what a beautiful sight of that sun, especially on the mountain tops when it creeps in, that light on the mountain tops and it creeps in down. Oh, so such a beautiful sight. You can get lost. In fact, I'm sorry, it's a rapid fire, but I have to define this. It's so close to my heart that you're coasting on that road and this mountain light is coming down in the mountain at times. It is dangerous because you're lost in that. You're lost in the purring of your bike and you're lost in the light coming down the mountains. And that is something which is sheer bliss. It can be dangerous, the sight of where the road is going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sir, though you already given us a hint about the leather padding in your jacket, which is your favorite riding jacket, sir?
I wear the Rhinox with the CE2. What I would prefer that it is aerodynamic. It is windproof. Windproof in the sense that it should have holes to give you ventilation.
Right, sir.
So that is my mind. It is as light as possible. Otherwise, it becomes very heavy, especially in circumstances.
Right. So, which is your biking mantra, if any, sir?
Biking mantra: respect the road, respect the condition, respect the environment, and enjoy yourself fully with the environment.
Right, sir.
And the right.
Sir, we come to the last question. Which is your dream destination right now, sir?
Two of them. Like you said, that we've been in the mountains only. We are going to do this in the winters, which is going to be the Jaisalmer, Barmer route, which is going to be beautiful. And second thing, what I want to do, I want to get back to Leh Ladakh. I want to do the Mesla Pass.
Right.
I want to do the Newly Pass that has opened up, the Somarari Hanle road. And that is going to be a challenging ride. And what a ride I would look forward to. I want to do it before I get old and they say, look, this oxygen content is not good for you. You can't go. I want to do that.
Sir, it was really exciting and very informative talking to you, sir. And I'm sure a lot of budding adventure, enthusiasts would be listening very intently to what you said. If there is one strong message that you would like to leave us behind with, sir, what would that be?
The message is, especially after retirement, find something that you want to pursue and do it with your heart contents. Do not keep waiting for the next day. Do not keep waiting that this day is too much for me. I can't manage it. You can manage it and do it. And I would suggest to the people in service doing in their place to place, take time out for such things. It doesn't mean bike riding. It just means a passion. You must have a passion, you must follow it and follow it to your heart contents. Right. Profession life is not what it is. I'm very glad the young generation is enjoying certain things, what we possibly did not think it to be suitable in terms of lifestyle that we led.
So thank you so very much for taking us on this ride, literally and figuratively, sir. And thank you so very much for being on the show. Many of us, including me, will get really inspired and motivated by what you're doing, and try and emulate the things that you are doing right now to get a new passion in life and to carry on living with it more enthusiastically. Thank you so very much for being on the show, sir.
Thank you, Tipsy, for having me. It's been a pleasure and a lovely experience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There are 3 key takeaways from this episode. Number 1, plan like a soldier. Ride like a free spirit. Adventure demands preparation. But once you hit the road, it's about letting go and enjoying the journey. Number 2, every challenge is a checkpoint, not a dead end. Landslides, weather, breakdowns, obstacles are part of the ride in life. With calm and courage, you always find a way forward. And last but not the least, number 3, passion does not retire with the uniform. Life after service or even after any career isn't about slowing down. It's about discovering new roads to travel and new adventures to embrace. From commanding troops in some of the toughest terrains in the country to conquering mountain passes on 2 wheels, Maj Gen Rohit Gupta has shown us that life after service isn't about slowing down. It's only about shifting gears. His biking journey reminds us that discipline, planning, and passion do not retire with the uniform. In fact, they can take you places you've never imagined, sometimes literally to the edge of a cliff road. Remember this, every journey begins with a single turn of the wheel. So find your road, embrace the challenge, and enjoy the ride. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember to stay thoda sa tipsy. Jai Hind.